We are back with our second interview for the day. Our special guest, our second special guest, is no stranger to the film screen. I'm super excited to have her here in the dollhouse with me. She is a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native, and she has been on the screen before our very eyes for a long time. And I'm super excited to have her here in the dollhouse with me today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome our very special, beautiful, talented special guest, Miss Cherry Johnson. Let me go ahead and share this live and let everyone know that we are back. And make sure you guys check out my previous interview with Alonzo from the Shit We Do for Love. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Are you guys excited as I am? I'm super excited. I cannot wait for our very special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. She is such an icon and has set the pace for so many women in the industry, so many women of color. So I'm super honored to have her here. Make sure you guys share the live and tune in tonight at 6:30. It's the Christmas music panel with myself and my brothers K Tooks and Jay Evans. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We're going to talk hair and we're going to talk so many things with our beautiful special guest, Miss Cherry Johnson. All right, fashion dolls, make sure you guys let everyone know, share this live so that we can get everyone in here. Are you guys excited? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's welcome our beautiful, incredibly talented special guest, Miss Cherry Johnson.
Hi, thank you for such a warm welcome.
Thank
Can you hear me?
you. Oh my God, this is such a pleasure to meet you. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, your chair is beautiful, my love.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yours, I mean, mine's yours. Yours is beautiful.
Thank you. It looks like we got the same kind of taste.
Yes. Welcome to the dollhouse. It is such an honor to have you here, Queen. So before we get off into this interview, how has 2022 been for you so far?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. The internet is
Okay.
messing up. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I was asking you, how has 2022 been for you so far?
It has been an amazing year, not just for me, but for my family. I have no complaints. You know, COVID has done those things where it's either separated family or has brought family closer together.
Yeah.
And times in my life, in 40 something years, where I've actually spent more time home than I have on the road. And so I'm appreciating it and loving every second I get to spend at home.
With family, and it's the holidays. Also, I was just telling my previous guest the same thing. It's nothing better than being with your family during the holidays.
Absolutely. It's a blessing.
Okay, so before we get into this interview, Cherry, I want to give you your flowers because growing up in the 90s, me being a brown skinned girl, looking on television, seeing girls like you and Nia Long and Angelique and Kelly, of course, your co-star, and Coco from SWV and so many others, seeing black women that were represented on Kenya Moore also too, seeing women like you represented on TV made me say, okay, if these girls can do it, I can do it. So I wanted to start the interview off with giving you your flowers, let you know that you always empower black women, you always encourage black women, and thank you for being the blueprint to so many women like myself. You also have your podcast as well, too, Sherry's World, which we'll get into throughout this interview. But I wanted to start the interview off by saying thank you, Queen, for empowering black women and showing young black girls out here that are watching your show, so many others, that, okay, if she can do it, I can too. Because back then, Kenya Moore said this in one of her interviews. She said there wasn't many black girls out here on television. That were the it girls. But you, the names that I just named, the Nias, the Angeliques, the Kellys, the Cocos from the SWVs, Janet Jackson, so many others, the list goes on and on. But I'm thankful to be able to interview you. It's a dream come true.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. And it's amazing because as a kid, I was just kind of doing what I loved to do. Didn't know that I was like doing it for a culture, you know? I think
Yeah.
ladies like Janet Jackson and Kim Fields who opened up the way for me to be able to do, you know, what I love to do.
Yes. And you grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
PA, we moved job on Punky Brewster back to live, but we went back I'm from a small town called Duquesne. What's up? Because I'm probably in the house right now. They always support you is truly for them. So that little girls and little boys from Duquesne know that you don't have to stay there your whole life. Get adventure, see the world, and you can do anything that you want to do. I'm from the hood, baby.
And as someone said it in the comments, let me read this comment right here. You were a church Sunday. That you were. So I wanted to start the interview off by giving you your flowers. And also you're an ally to the LGBTQ community as well, too. Yeah, I seen the interview on your podcast you did with our girl T.S. Madison. And it was so much fun because it was funny in the beginning because you were talking about makeup. And he was like, honey, I don't know what that half of that stuff is. So it was so funny. So shout outs to you for doing that
Oh,
and
thank you.
just being an
But you
ally
know,
as well too.
well, I've been.
Yes.
My uncle was a queen. He was my mom's best friend. He's gone now. But Uncle Willis, who taught me how to put on a bra, how to put on stockings without putting a hole in them. And he taught me wrong correct. Of course, when we did Punky Brewster, our first wardrobe man, his name was Jean Doucette. Jean Doucette was the most magnificent, I don't know if he's still in the business, but he is the most magnificent, beautiful dressmaker I've ever seen in my life. And he was the first person who ever showed me how they sketch. And then we had two men named Teddy and Stan that were on our set. Teddy was the props guy, I believe, and Stan was our craft service, and they were a couple. Teddy and Stan kept me fed every day, baby. You know, and they made sure that Soleil and I had our props, and not just there, but Gary Mintier, one of the producers of Punky and Family Matters, was with a man named Joey my whole life, and I love me some Gary Mintier, and I love Joey is still alive. Gary is gone, unfortunately, but I love me some Joey, and I love me some Gary Mintier. Community has helped raise me. My brother's also gay, and so is my little cousin. So anything that I could do that represent the community and make you guys proud makes me proud.
And that you are doing, and we thank you so much for that, 100%. Just the interview with T.S. Madison opened the door to show people and educate people on being trans and so many different things. And T.S. Madison, shout outs to her, the blueprint for myself and so many other women, and Laverne Cox and so many others, and just being open and her transparency with who she is, comfortable, as she would say. Congrats, Maddie, on Beyonce. But yes, just the transparency is what's included and needed as well too. And you've also done some writing throughout your career too. You've written columns and publications for Dimes Magazine and Glam Couture Magazine. As you can tell, Sherry, from my Instagram, I'm such a fashion girl. I'm always changing my look and evolving 100%. So tell us, what was that like? And you've also written 3 books as well. Cream is one of my favorites, and 2 different walks of life. And you've also talked about another book, Around the World Twice. So yes, Peaches and Cream holds a special place in my heart. So tell us the writing process for you, and what did you, the titles of these books that you've written?
Thank you so much. Well, can I tell you first about Glam Couture was my first writing job for a public, and I grew up, I pulled out the tears in the magazines and I put them all over my wallpaper. When they did all the black and white ads and they had all the guest ads with Anna Nicole Smith, I loved her. And I had ripped all those tears out, and I said, one day I'm gonna write for one of these magazines. I got my chance after Family Matters, and I started writing for Glam Couture. Then I started working with Dime Magazine, and the editor-in-chief gave me the position of the magazine. So I got to learn the business side as well, and I fell in love with magazines. And then I got my job at Fever, also let me be the director. And that was just like the end. But I started writing books when I was 5. My mother told me the best way to go down in history was to be in the library. She said, if you live in the library, you can live forever.
Yeah.
I told you I'm from. So as a kid, I thought the library was somebody's big white house. I thought it was a mansion. I didn't realize that nobody lived there and it was publicly owned, but I wanted to live there and I wanted to live there forever. So writing has always been my first love, and it was always a goal of mine. Peaches and cream. Okay, so you asked me, look, I'm trying to answer everything real quick. You asked me how I came up with the name Peaches and Cream. Peaches is a little girl from the small town of Duquesne. I'm not saying she's me because I'm not claiming all this stuff the Peaches did or I'd be in jail. But there's a fruit in every hood. And I just happened to be the fruit from mine. And I didn't want to name her after me, but I had to keep, I'm Cherry. So we was going to name her Peaches and keep her close to what I know.
And shout outs to my brother K2. She said that's one of his favorites as well too. That book right there in particular. And then you've got 2 different walks of life and Around the World Twice.
Yeah.
And in every one of your books, you put just a little nugget of your life experience without giving away a little bit too much. And that's what I love about you. You've also won some awards throughout your career too for writing and so many things you've done just being in the business. So Sherry, again, you are just the blueprint for Black women like myself and so many others who are out here doing the same thing. And you have your podcast, Cherry's World, as well too. So tell us a little bit about the concept, because I know we were in the middle of this pandemic, and then I seen your podcast when I was scrolling down YouTube, and I said she's interviewing everybody. So tell us a little bit about
So
Cherry.
the public have been asking me to kind of give them more of who I am. I am not comfortable doing reality TV because it ain't reality. So you're not going to get to know anybody that way, much less. So there's writers on reality TV. That stuff ain't real, y'all. Right. But when I was approached, I was like, well, there's certain things I can't do reality TV because that's not going to be me. I'm really skeptical letting people in my home, but I do think that there's an important of humanizing people that you've seen on TV their whole life. And so my Cherry's World podcast is a way to humanize a celebrity and kind of let you in. We don't do like interview question like you, like we have conversations. And people like Emmanuel Lewis, who does not do interviews, he came and he did my show because we had a conversation instead of an interview. And then you get to know the people behind, what it is that you see on screen. And I think that's what Cherry's World is all about. We talk about people that I know.
Transparency.
I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Acting funky.
I was saying just your transparency. You've had your co-star Kelly on there, and it was just like a sisterhood, and it was so good seeing you both together. And Kelly is just off the chain. She is so funny. But seeing both of you together and laughing, I said, oh, my God, my dream girls are together. So when I seen that episode, I said, I have to watch more. I want more.
Thank you so much. Kelly and I are trying out how to work together again. The same characters that and that, everybody has loved because we love.
Right.
Work. Kelly's a riot.
And y'all two have like a sisterhood.
Oh, yeah. That's been my friend since before I hit puberty good. You know what I'm saying? We grew up together.
And to see that off screen as well too, because it was Essence Magazine. They posted some of the greatest female clips from shows, from other shows, like you had Kim and Niecy and Moesha, and then it was Laura and Maxine, and then it was Pam. Like, it was all of the girls that have been friendships together on every one of these shows. So I said, yes, we need more of this.
Thank you. I've been really blessed with 2 amazing stars, with Kelly on Family Matters and with Soleil on Punky Brewster. Like, what more could a girl ask for?
Yeah. I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but again, Fashion Dolls, if you're tuning in, we're here with Cherry Johnson. Her smiling personality is like a calming hug. I know, right?
Thank you.
All right, Fashion Dolls, let's talk hair, Cherry, because when I was watching your shows and going through some of your pictures, I said, oh my gosh, she's just like me. She has so many different hairstyles in the beginning of the interview. I said, we both kind of have the same taste in hair. But I know back in the day on shows, you mentioned Kim Fields. And it's funny you mentioned Kim Fields. And Tia Mowry also said as well too when she was doing Sister Sister. Back in the day on shows, they literally would have to fry your hair because there's a lot of thermal appliances with curling irons and so many things behind the scenes. But you came up with the natural way. Your product line, Wild Cherry, which I absolutely love. I was going through and I was looking while I was getting my makeup and stuff done. And I said, she's got so many products that I could try because I'm just like you. I'm all about supporting Black owned businesses. Taraji P has a hair line and I love it. So I'm all about supporting Black-owned businesses. So tell us, what made you want to come up with your own hair care line?
Well, it's crazy because I didn't really come up with hair care line, but so many people had been asking me about my hair when I was on Family Matters. The young Cherry on Family Matters, and then my hair started looking better, right? So it wasn't me. It was the lady who did my hair. Her name is Melanie Clayton, or now it's Melanie Luca because she's married. And I'm going to be interviewing her soon. The hair products are the same products that she was using on my hair when I was on Family Matters. People were asking me, how are you maintaining your hair instead of your hair falling out like everybody else because it's getting fried and dyed and flicked to the side? Well, my hairdresser did not work at the set. Like, she was not a studio hairdresser. So they wouldn't let her come on the set and do my hair because she wasn't union at the time. She was my age. She was doing my hair in her mama's kitchen. So before tape night, she would do my hair and wrap it up in my dressing room and fluff it up. Products that she was using then are the products that we bottled, and we didn't bottle them until it was probably like 15 years after the show. People were about my hair on Family Matters and how I maintained it. And I said, you know what? I went back to her and I said, I think you need to bottle this because people are asking me questions. And as a kid, Melanie started doing my hair. I believe she was 15 years old when she started doing my hair. And we're this, yeah. So because she thought it smelled good and my name was Cherry, so it was cute. Come to find out, Cherry's a natural growth agent. And because she was putting the cherry oil in my hair to keep my hair. So now we bottle it for women so that it can help grow them edges back and they can keep their hair as well.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question too, because I know you've seen the article come out where a lot of women are starting to go, well, not me. I'm addicted to my dark and lovely and cream of nature and so many things. But my mom is completely natural. My mom has went completely natural. So a lot of women had decided, I'm going to ditch the chemicals. I'm not going to do chemicals, but I'm always on the go. So that's the only reason why I relax my hair. But what are your thoughts on women starting to go natural and say, okay, no more of the relaxers, no more this. I'm going to do this the natural way.
I never had a relaxer. Ladies, you can get your hair paper thin if you got the right person doing it. The man out there, contact, hit me up. I will send it to you. You don't have to put those chemicals in your hair to get your hair. And that's what people don't. Oh, you wear your hair natural now, and it just was flat out. That was the only difference. But now for me, the reason why I've been wearing my hair curly is because since I became a mom, my daughter came to me when she was, I think, like 3 and told me that she wanted me to flat iron her hair. And I was like, why would you want me to flat iron your curls? Your curls are gorgeous. She said, Mommy has straight hair. I want to look. So I went and I took a shower and I said, Mommy no longer has straight hair. And because I had fried my hair so much from flat ironing it, the top would curl, the bottom was straight. So I cut the bottom off. My hair was down to my butt. I cut my hair to here. I had a high-low, you know what I'm saying? Like it was the 80s. I brought it back in style and called it a day. And I don't put heat on my hair now more than once or twice a year. And it's usually to cut it. And I cut her in, I think November. I could see she got her hair flat iron and cut, but it's been back to curly like the next day because she sweated it out.
And that happens to our naturalistas out there. It's just like, oh my God, I just got this blowout, and then it'll, turn back and revert back to his natural curl pattern. But a lot of women start
No,
to
I
choose that.
said
Oh, go
mine
ahead,
does it
Sherry. I'm
too.
sorry.
If I walk outside, the whole texture of my hair changes. But women, it causes ovarian cancer. So I'm sorry if it comes between looking cute or being healthy. I want to live. Cut this off. It's just hair.
Right.
It'll grow back.
Yes, and we've seen stories where a lot of women decided, you know what, I'm going to do the big chop. I'm going to do the big chop, or I'm going to wear my naturally. Our former first lady, she shocked me on the cover of Essence when she wore her natural texture hair, Michelle Obama. And she even said that in an interview. She said, I was reading this. She said, the world wouldn't be ready for the first lady if, if she wore her naturally curly hair. And she was just completely honest. She was just transparent about it. And I said, yeah, because we see that happening even in a lot of businesses with microaggressions where Black women, if we even was to wear an afro or anything, thank God for what's called the Crown Act, where now they've made it so that people can wear their hair however they choose. If they want to wear it curly, wear their natural curl pattern or whatever it is, I love that so much. But just her transparency was saying, you know what, if I was the first lady, I had to straighten my hair because Black women for years we've been told we have to assimilate to
I
fit
wish she would have
culture.
made them be
Yeah.
ready. Because don't let me in that. I'm rocking my Afro puffs. I'm going to put
Right.
some braids in my hair. I am doing every natural stuff I can think of because I'm a firm believer and you got to push. Some people want to get in there, and I understand. She didn't want to make waves or make life difficult for her husband. She's a little bit more considerate than I am. Because I would have pushed the envelope every chance they gave me. But you said the Crown Act, right? So Gabrielle Union had just got fired, and it was supposedly about her, ethnic hairstyles. One of the things that I loved about the producers of Punky Brewster when we went back for the reboot, I kind of had this strong stance. And I went to them and I said, hey, you wanted me to be gay, I'm gay, right? I don't have a problem with being gay, so you're not going to have a problem with my hair not being straight, right? And they said, we don't care how you wear your hair. And I was like, really? Same network, And I said, so there's no problem how I wear my hair? They said, no, it's your hair. You can wear it how you want to. And I said, thank you. And so I made it a point. I was hoping that we got more than one season. You know what I'm saying? Soleil and I wanted 8 seasons, but we only got 1. But I made it a point that my hair didn't get straight all season. I was hoping for a season 2. Maybe it would have happened once or twice up in there. But I love the producers, and I appreciate the fact that they understood.
Yes, and that I'm glad you mentioned that because when I seen the story on America's Got Talent, I'm like, I mean, even on shows like The Voice with Jennifer Hudson, she didn't. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but for it to happen to Gabrielle Union, I'm like, Tyra Banks is also on AGT. So why is it when Black women we change our hair, it's a problem? And I had this conversation with my male friend the other day. I had to get on his ass because he said, "Oh well, girl, I don't like you with the blonde." I said, "Well, baby, it's not you with the blonde, it's me."
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm not a one-trick pony, and that just goes to show you that. And I had this conversation. Shout outs to my girl Simone Jones. Um, we had the same conversation how we're having it now, Cherry, where we said Black women we can wear our hair however we want to. Why is it an issue when we wear our natural curls? Why is it an issue when we embrace our natural texture? And as you mentioned the story with your daughter, it was Tia Mowry also, and someone else said it as well too. My daughter came to me and said I wanted my hair straight, and we're seeing the commercials on TV where Dove is doing the commercials telling young girls that they need to embrace their natural curl patterns. They need to embrace what God has given them. And my mom is natural all the way. I'm relaxed. I'm color treated. I went to beauty school. So I love to experiment. One day I'll have purple hair. One day I have blonde. One day I have green. I've done green. I've done purple. I've done every color under the sun. I'm not a one trick pony. And Rihanna is a little bit of my style influence. So I said, if Rihanna can do this color, I can do this color. If Cherry can do this color, or if Kelly was known for her shortcut. Kelly was known for her shortcut. Her and Toni Braxton and Nia were the reason why I decided to go short for when I did The Assistant too, which is out. So make sure you guys go and check that out. But yeah, I'm always flipping through hairstyle magazines and I'm saying, what texture or what color can I try today? And that's the thing with us. We're multifaceted. We don't like to stay in just one lane when it comes to our hair and movie.
I'm sorry, but sometimes, you know, I might spend a month with a bun in my hair. After a while, I'm like, I got to take this bun out. I'm tired of looking at myself. You got to change it up sometimes. That way you like yourself again.
It's versatility. And I was telling my friends just the other day, it's about versatility. We're not all going to stay the same when it comes to our hair. And we're even seeing it in the schools too, Cherry, where some of our, if you've got sons out there, it was a story that really tugged at my heartstrings where I seen they cut this young man's dreadlocks when he was on the team. I think it was for football or something. They cut his dreadlocks. I'm like, why is it an issue? He's here to play sports just like the other kids. Why is
because
his locks
the parents probably didn't have enough money to get lawyers up there fast enough. That's why it was an issue. And that sucks.
It even happens at graduations where young women would come in with their box braids, how the girls would wear the box braids and everything down to their back. I'm like, she's just graduating. My hair should not define who I am. My education and my worth should, not my hair. My hair is just a part of who I am, but it also is a freedom of expression for me. Like I'm feeling sexy now with this type of hair, the wavy, but and then there are days when I want to be professional. I want to be, I want to do short. I want to do it straight, but I don't, I don't want to conform to your standards.
Well, the problem is white people has been bullying black people into doing what they want them to do forever, into submission. And so they feel that since they've gotten away with it for somebody in the past, that they can continue to do it until we all decide to say, it ain't happening no more. They're going to keep trying, but they're going to get the right one day. Because they mess with my child or my child's hair, and I don't know what their hair is going to look like in 10 years. But let them try to cut off some locks or something off my kid. Mommy got enough money to call Chris Brown, who happens to be the family attorney, not the singer. And Chris is going to handle that in a way that they don't want. They don't want to hear it. But it's an economic thing. And until Black people rise up and we stop spending our money and we learn to recycle the Black dollar, and we do this whole economical shift, because we spend more money than anybody else does. So when Black people keep our money within our own community and there's economical shift, then they can't try to bully us and tell us shit no more. Sorry, I don't know if I was allowed to cuss. But, okay, I was like, oh, my bad. But once that happens, then everything will change. And their problem right now is they're realizing that they're not the majority anymore. They are the minority, and that is scary. They don't know how to handle it.
And I'm glad you said that too, because I had this conversation not too long ago with Terrell Allen. Shout outs to him, TSA Media. We talked about supporting Black-owned businesses and putting back into our communities. Don't get me wrong. I love my what's a brand, Dark and Lovely or Cream of Nature or so many others, but I want to support other hair care brands that are Black owned as well too. And then come to find out, L'Oreal, the cosmetics company, is now owning Dark and Lovely. We all know that L'Oreal is not Black owned, and neither is and I dropped some knowledge for the audience not too long ago. ORS, you guys are familiar with the brand ORS. It's not even Black owned, come to find out. And almost every Black woman has something in their bathroom to the extent of Edge Tamer from ORS, Organic Root Stimulator. Everybody knows that. Everybody uses it in their mouth. So I said, that's not Black owned. It's a good product, but it's not Black owned. Did you guys know that? And neither is Black Radiance, the cosmetics company. And I use Black Radiance. I'm not going to be hypocritical, but I also support my black-owned cosmetic brands as well too.
I
So
threw
there's so many
everything out
others
when
out
Rihanna
here.
got her line. I am strictly Fenty. I am strong. Look, I ain't got those hair products that you was talking about. African pride ain't black owned either. I do have Taraji's. I do have Wizard Donna Summer's daughter has a line as well, and I use mine. I don't do it.
Yeah,
And I might stop going to Walmart, and that one's gonna hurt me because I love me some Walmart, but they don't need my money. They really don't need
right.
me. So I'm gonna have to figure this out because there's some things in Walmart that I feel like, a skincare line. If I could find a black-owned skincare line, because that's my favorite thing in Walmart. I use their cheap $3 Equate um, facial wash, and if I could substitute that with a black-owned facial company, bring it on. Anybody that knows it, please send it to me. I won't be in there no more.
And, I was watching Sherry Shepherd's show. She brought on a young lady that had for us, because yes, we're melanated. We got to protect our melanin as well too. She's a young lady who has a sunscreen line called Brown. I
I
think
got
it's
it.
called Brown Girl
I
Sunscreen or something like that. Because most sunscreens that we put on, they don't, lather all the way. So for this one, it's like, oh my God, this blended in perfectly.
perfect.
So
It
about
does
time somebody
not
did.
change you colors at all. I have it. It's available at Target.
It's amazing. And we have to start supporting these brands. I could go down a list of black-owned beauty brands. Um, Kim Kimball, the stylist of the star, she has her product line. Of course, Taraji P. I use her products. Kenya Moore, Real Housewives, she has her product line. And what I love that Sally's Beauty has now done is they've dedicated like a whole aisle to all of the celebrities that have their black-owned product line. And Gabrielle Union has her product line,
So
Flawless, as well too. So shout outs to Larry Sims. And she's all about celebrating. What I love about her is that she decided, to ditch. Yes, I love throwing on a wig or two every now and again. But I love to experiment. And lately I've been seeing her wear a lot of natural styles. So shout outs to Larry Sims, who's been doing her hair for a long time, where she's now embracing her curl pattern. And her baby girl is also doing it as well too. She's got her baby girl
I,
using her products as
I
well. So that's
first
what
of
I
all,
love
Gabby's
about Gabby.
gorgeous and she's always had the most beautiful skin ever. But she's one of the sweetest souls that I've ever come across in the industry. Her and Tisha Campbell are completely pure. And everything you get from them is completely pure. And I think the reason why we love those women is because it's literally coming from the inside out. So yeah, shots.
And you too, Sherry, you're original, you're authentic, and that's why we clicked instantly because we're about support. You're about supporting black-owned businesses and black women. And I look at your post, I said, okay, she ain't playing. If it's not you, then it's Amanda Seals, and Amanda
No,
plays
I love
no
her.
games.
Absolutely, positively love her. I hate that White Hollywood gives her such a hard time. I think that her platform should be so much bigger than it is, but I think that it's going to continue to grow.
Yes, so shout outs to Amanda. And if it's not Amanda, then it's Angela Rye. And I said, these black women are not playing games. So I follow you ladies and I'm like, okay, what they got going on? And if it's not you, Angela, then it's Simone Sanders. And I love how vocal black women are being when it comes to so many things. And congratulations to Raphael Warnock. Georgia came and showed up and showed out. So I had to throw that out there. I seen the congratulations and everything. Supporting black is definitely a verb. So, Sherry, what advice would you give to people on what they can do to support black-owned businesses? Because I've gotten people say, "Oh, well, this is expensive." No, no, there's nothing wrong with putting your money into a business that someone that looks like you
You know
has
what?
invented.
There are product lines for everybody, right? And there are lines for everybody. Some is couture, some is reasonable. You don't go into Louis Vuitton and try to negotiate. You don't go into Gucci and try to negotiate. So maybe if that designer is just a little bit too expensive for you, find another black designer that's a little bit more reasonable. I know, you know, If you
Yeah.
change one or two habits, that's all we need to do to make a huge change. Laundry. Find a black-owned laundry detergent. If you need to know who they are, DM me. I'll share. It's better than Tide. All those chemicals ain't in there. It doesn't matter if you use Summer's Eve dish wipes. You know what I'm saying? There's a black-owned company that makes the same. I'm not saying you have to totally change everything that you do. Go find a black farmer. Go find a black grocery store. Go find a black car maker. I'm just saying, look at your toothbrush and be like, where I get this from? Could I order this from a black? The answer is always going to be yes. Where'd I get my peanut butter from? Can I get this from a black person? Even though black people invented it, there aren't too many black-owned peanut butter companies, but I know some. So just 2 or 3 habits. And if you do that every year and you exchange 2 or 3 products a year, you will be shocked in 5 years how many of the products in your home are black-owned.
And it's funny you mentioned that about the feminine products thing, because there is a product for ladies out there called the Honey Pot Co. Is it the Honey Pot? That's a company, and I was reading Lala Milan is also coming out with her collection as well, too, of feminine products. So, yeah, it's black-owned, black businesses out here, and people are inventing them and saying, okay, there's nothing out here for me. I'm going to invent my stuff my way. So go and check it out. Yes, Lala Milan. I was scrolling down reading the other day, and it said that she was dropping a product as well, too. So definitely, 100% go and support. There's nothing wrong. I like the sensitive skin Tide Pods.
Still
Well, there's something
trash.
out there for
Read the
everybody.
ingredients. It's still trash.
Again, the natural way. The natural way is how people are doing it. It's more safer and it's more efficient. That's the way to do it. So support your own businesses. Hi, Guri. I was just talking about you. And we chatted about that yesterday and how balance it out with everything, supporting black-owned businesses. So
Especially
that
if
is
we could all
definitely a
come
must.
together and pick like a holiday, like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't able to do it this year, maybe next Christmas you can just make a cognate choice that 90% of your Christmas presents are from a black-owned business. Do you know what that would do to the economy? Do you know how that would cripple white companies and the economical shift that would happen? I'm not saying I'm trying to be mean or cripple nobody, but what I'm saying is my people have been treated bad for an awful long time. And the only way to get us some sort of equality
Yeah.
is if we equal the finances. And once our finances are equal, we will watch them change. Also, when we all are able to afford things like life insurance, everything will change because
Mm-hmm.
there won't be no more, shootings by cops or innocent black people getting killed because insurance companies have the best attorneys in the world. They don't like paying out those policies. White people go playing with our
At
lives.
all.
And they might change the amendment when all of us step up and we get some life insurance policies. Sometimes you have to, yeah.
They've made it.
Oh no,
So
I'm sorry.
I
I
was
was going
reading
to
that
say
comment. I'm
sometimes
sorry.
you have to bully them into submission the way they have tried to do us for centuries.
Life insurance is very necessary. Definitely need to support one another. And the audience is agreeing firsthand. Our people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're being turned around when we go into these stores. And it's funny you mentioned Gucci, because I was talking again with Terrell last week about this. I said some of these fashion houses, and I'm a fashion girl, been in the fashion industry for a long time. Some of these fashion houses don't want us wearing their garments. And I'm hearing stories, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it, Sherry, because I think you covered it on your podcast about the sweater, the sweater at H&M, the sweater at Gucci, the models walking down the runways with I don't have to get into it. But I'm like, these brands, these fashion
Mercedes don't
houses
want you
don't want us
driving
wearing
their
their
cars either.
garments
They done made very many comments about it. I've never owned one. You don't like, yeah, you
at all. They
don't need my money.
Go
That's,
ahead, I'm sorry.
that's what I was going to say.
Yep, estate planning is necessary. Let me read some of you guys' comments. I'm glad you guys are engaging. Stop putting your money in savings. Stop putting yes, and investments. Who was it? It was Jennifer Lewis and some other people. Make sure that you save, you invest. and whatever it is that you're working on, and give back, build so that you can build generation to generational wealth for your kids and your children. Like, I'm a fashion girl too. uh, Let me try not to be hypocritical, because I try to put it all on the table here on my talk show, on my platform. I splurged. The biggest splurge that I had was on a Kurt Geiger bag. And I have my fashion influences. Victoria Beckham, Rihanna, Beyonce, these women, I love their fashion sense. And that was the only splurge that I had, was on that Kurt Geiger bag. But I said, I'm going to start supporting Black-owned businesses as well, too, because I know half of these garments do not want a woman of color wearing their stuff. So I wouldn't be caught in any of those designs on the red carpet, because I know you don't really want me wearing it. And I know you heard about the story, Sherry, with Oprah when she tried to go purchase a purse and they turned her around in the store. And if you guys didn't know, a Black woman designed Jackie Kennedy Onaisis's gown. She didn't refer to her as her name, which was Anna. She referred to her as a colored woman. So that just goes to show you, they don't want us in these industries like the Balenciagas, and I'm seeing what's going on with Kanye. That's a whole different situation. But I'm like, yeah, yes, the designs are beautiful, but there are designers out here. Shout outs to Jerry Reed and Jay Amore and so many other designers.
Yes.
Telfar Bad Company, Black owned. And shout outs to La Roche, who dresses Zendaya. Um, one year at the Met Gala, I think it was not too long ago, he took a whole, I said, okay, it's truly what Issa Rae was saying, I'm rooting for everybody Black. He took a whole crew of all Black artists and designers with him. It was Sha'Carri Richardson, Kehlani, and Lewis Hamilton, the race car driver. So he took a whole crew of Black fashion influencers with him to the Met Gala, because we know that the Met Gala, that's a big deal for fashion in the fashion world. And these designers only want a certain person wearing their garments. And it's not people that look like myself or Sherry or any of you in the audience.
Not at all. You know what changed my mind is in the 90s, my brother walked in my closet. I didn't really pay any attention. He came out and he said, let's go in the office. And I said, why? He said, let me see your homeowner's policy. And I was digging. This is before the internet where you could just pull it up, right? So I was digging and I handed it to him and he looked at it and he looked at me and he said, if this house catches on fire, it doesn't cover your closet. And he said, how many of those people are Black? And I went and I looked in my closet and I was like, eh. And ever since then, I was like, I am not spending my money on this or with these people. Yeah. And so now, right now, I got on a dress. My mom, she saw me because she had to get my daughter so I could, my daughter won't stay quiet long enough for me to do this. And my mom said, it's time for you to get some new clothes. Why do you have that on? I have on a dress that my mother bought me in 8th grade. And I happen to love it. It is a diesel dress, but I literally have been wearing it since 8th grade. And I said, some things I just don't spend my money on anymore. And some things I do. If I have something to do, I said, Mom, I'm in the house. I'm doing an interview online. I got my Reach Weight hat. I was happy when I walked in there. This is a Black company. I ain't feel like combing my hair today. Grab a ponytail and put the hat on and call it a day. I got my $5 earrings that I got from Dr. J's in New York.
She's doing the complete opposite, and I'm sitting up here looking all glammed up, and she still looks fabulous. And y'all are saying it in the comments. So I had to get all glammed up for you, Sherry. But yeah, we did the complete opposite. Thank you, my love. You too, me gorgeous. I've admired you since I was a baby. I said, oh my God, yes. And I used to have pictures of y'all on my wall. You, Janet, and Kelly. Y'all were the it girls, and I would flip through Black Hair magazine and see y'all.
You said Janet, and then you said Cherry. That makes me go.
Yes, Janet, Cherry, Kelly, Coco. Mary J. Blige. There's just something about her. So you guys were the it girls for me. And of course, Vanessa. I interviewed Vanessa. And with that moment right there, I was so nervous because I'm like, this is Miss America. And watching her perform the song for Pocahontas and everything, it was like a dream come true. So to be able to sit with you,
Thank you,
Cherry,
love.
is
I
just
appreciate you. You're
amazing.
my last interview for the year. I had to be transparent on my post and let them know that I gave you a little pushback because I know. Thank
Yes,
you
she did.
so much for making the experience fun and rememberable for me as well, because I was always told only do this in the business as long as it's fun. And I'm getting to a point where some things just aren't fun anymore because it's the same, it's living the same day over and over and over
Right.
again. Nobody wants to do that. So I appreciate you stepping out and being like, that's not a problem. Let's make it something different. And you gave me a chance to get, like, for you to know my character as a person and not my characters. That means a lot to me.
And and I still love you a whole lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Like again, I would have when we were growing up, we would have the magazines with the posters you could just tear out. But me being a girl that's into beauty, I would flip through black hair. And I of course Kelly did the cover in '98. She had the straw set. And this is when the show ended and everything. And I would see pictures of you and Kelly and Coco and TLC and Mary J. Blige and Vanessa and Stacy, that all of you girls, Nia, all of you were the it girls of the 90s. And you still are.
Thank you. And I
People
have to say
love
thank
you
you, Mr.
to
John
death.
Blassingame, who was the owner of the Hype Hair and those hair magazines and the Black men's magazines, because they gave us a platform that we didn't have before. I wish
Mhm.
publications would come back the way they used to, because I would love for my daughter to be able to see her likeness in a magazine that comes to her house every month.
And Essence was a big thing too. Like it was Terry Ellis of En Vogue. She says a black girl opening Essence magazine and seeing representation that looks like her. Of course I read Cosmo and stuff as well too. But picking up black hair or hype hair or Essence again for young black girls as representation, and the names that I've just mentioned, yours too, Cherry, are the women that look like you. Because we know that in the fashion world or wherever, there's tall, blonde, and blue eyes, but there's no shades of
No,
chocolate. And I'm just like,
you
I don't
don't.
feel
I
included.
mean, even though I grew up in the industry, I'm 5'7". My boobs are a 34 triple D. I don't have no booty, but there's, my hips are a 36. So I'm not exactly shaped or made like the rest of the girls in the business. Even when I was pencil thin on Family Matters, when I was a young girl growing up, I still had shape and I still had boobs for my size. It's important for us to see ourselves. And unfortunately, we don't get to see our, I mean, we can't even see ourselves now. You want to be real? Half of them BBLs ain't us that are buying them. Them lips ain't them Botox ain't us. Anything we get, they steal. So we still don't get to see our likeness, even though that's our shape and our body. It don't belong to us still.
I'm gonna just say this because shout outs to Hello Beautiful. I follow Hello Beautiful and Madame Noir, all of the companies, No Sugar, No Cream, that represent and speak up for black women like us who are outspoken. Um, they want our jazz, but they don't want our blues. And there's so many companies, so you know where I'm going with this. There's a certain family that steals the aesthetic of black women, and black
Oh,
women have yet to profit off it.
Kardashians,
Let's talk about it.
they all got mixed babies though. They was gonna keep their bloodline cute any way possible. Yeah, I mean, and they're not white; they're Armenian. I think the world forgets that, and they've gotten the white privilege pass, but they're teaching culture
Yeah.
vultures. They done came in and made a killing off of us.
And the only ones who are not able to benefit from just looking like black women like us, like back in the day, Cherry, you were known for your curves. Kelly was known for her curves. Tashina Arnold from Martin, known for her curves. And I said, my God, these girls have bodies. I have a body too, and they
Yeah.
represent me. They look like me, a black woman. But when I look nowadays in 2020 in social media, we're now in the day and age of social media, everybody has got a BBL. They've got something done to their body. And I'm just like, just appreciate what God has given you. Because I've heard horror stories about these BBLs and I've never really touched on it. But the singer K. Michelle did a whole special on it called I think The Ugly Truth or something, where it talks about
Yes.
women getting work done to their body. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a mommy makeover, but I've heard horror stories. Just embrace what God has given you, your curves and your beauty that
I'm a
God has given
co-owner
you.
of a wellness center in Miami. And one of the things that we see are the plastic surgeon horror stories, because these young girls have boobs and butts and they're not
Yeah.
taking care of themselves. The name of our wellness center is Keeping It All Natural. And they come in for laser sculpting. We have a machine called the Icon One, which is basically a laser, but it helps minimize keloid scars and the pockets. What a lot of
Mm.
people don't realize is when you get liposuction, just because they take from behind your knee doesn't mean the back of your knee is not going to inflate. That fat still goes somewhere. It's just out of that space. So our iCoon machine actually helps flatten that out. And the reason why it is helping flatten it out is because it does lymph, it cleans your lymph nodes and it helps you detox. So it does like a lymphatic drainage. And that actually helps after a lot of people have plastic surgeries if their body, isn't necessarily responding to it the way they want it to. A lot of people also don't realize that it takes a year for those implants to actually settle in your body. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot. So I say keep it all natural. Come to us before you get the boobs done or the BBL or the liposuction. I am a certified nutritionist. I can help you lose weight. I can aid you. I can't say I can cure because I don't want to die like our other natural holistic healers have done. So I'm not a holistic healer. I'm just throwing that out there. But I can aid you if you have something like hypertension, if you're a diabetic, if you have eczema,
Yeah.
if you have psoriasis or things like that. Come see us and let us try to aid you before you take it any steps further.
And we know the diabetes
It's
within
random.
the Black community, that's a thing. So make sure you guys, yeah. And my brother has it, my mom has it, my father has it, and I'm seeing them having to
And
check their sugar and all of
let me
these
explain
things.
the
So
lie
it's a
that they
lot.
tell
Yeah.
you. 90% of doctors are never taught nutrition in medical school. They're not taught anything how to eat. They're taught about how medicine combats things, right? And medicine begets medicine. So 9 out of 10, once you start taking one, you have to take another. Things like diabetes and hypertension don't run in a family, regardless of what they tell you. What runs in the family are eating habits. And once you stop those eating habits, you can change whatever is going on genetically. So every 7 years, your body actually remakes itself. So just because your brother's a diabetic now doesn't mean that he has to be 6 months, a year, or
Yeah.
7 years from now.
Change what you eat. You are what you eat, your diet. And I know you've seen what happened with recently Al Roker, and we're seeing
My
what's going on with him health
family.
wise. So please, yes, please make sure that you guys are choosing healthier options. And again, with the whole BBL, just getting work done to your body. Recon- if this is something that you really want to do, make sure that you consider this all the way. Because I've seen women I've seen what Kate Michelle she had to go through when she got implants and certain things had to get certain things taken out because she said it was weighing down on her legs or
Especially
something.
my older
So
women. Like, I'm sorry, I've never had a butt, right? But I'm 47. If I made it this long without one, baby, why I need one now? Growing up in the industry, I did grow up with an aunt who tried to encourage me to get my nose done because she had me scared that when I grew up, my nose was going to look like KRS-One. Right. And so I listened to her and I went to visit the doctor. My mother took me to the consultation. And actually, during the consultation, the doctor was drawing on my nose of what he wanted to do. But then he told me that he would have to put a chin implant in because it would mess up the lining between my nose and my chin. And then he told me that it would make my cheeks look different, what would probably change my eyes. And I was like, yo, Ma, can we just go get something to eat? And she was like, what? I was like, I just want to go get something to eat. We went to a place called Hamburger Helper. I got me 10 chicken wings. I sat down with my mom and I said, I changed my mind. I don't want to do this no more. And now that I'm older, no disrespect, my aunt and I don't have a good relationship, but I look at her face And she was gorgeous. But if she would have just loved herself a little bit more, she could have loved me the way I was too. But it was more reflection about how she felt about herself than how she really felt about me. And she was a gorgeous, gorgeous woman who is now redone, but she's got the same look everybody else does. And once you try to fix one thing and make it perfect, you always find something else that's not perfect. We have to learn to love ourselves and realize that we were born perfectly imperfect, just the way God intended us to. I love my nose now. My nose grew the same way it was supposed to. And I look at my daughter who is now carrying my nose. And it makes me giggle every time I look at her. And I'm so thankful that I didn't change mine.
Rhinoplasty, that's a big deal. I was even
Right.
thinking about it, but I said, you know
Let me
what?
tell you something.
It's
Okay,
not
so
worth it.
I'm not a makeup girl, right? But you see the way you got your nose highlighted and then the way you got your cheeks highlighted? You change that nose, it's not going to highlight the same. And baby, it's bomb. You look flawless. Don't change yourself. Love yourself. I love you.
That nose is hot though, the DC guy. And and that's the thing. We got to start learning to embracing our black features because the same features that we have, someone said I wanted a lip reduction in the comments. I've always hated my lips too, but do you know how many people, mainly women that are non-black,
Yes,
are
they
trying
come
to
in
get lips like
our
ours?
wellness center all the time and say, when will you start doing Botox? And I keep saying, that's botulism. I'm not going to put botulism in your face. We're called keeping it all natural. I bet your full lips are gorgeous. People would pay for your full lips. And if you line your lips right, you can't line nothing with no lip there. White women up here lining under their nose trying to get your lips. And men call them lips, DSLs. Not that I know, but ain't nothing wrong with them lips.
And that was the thing back in the day. That's another thing that they tried to steal from us as well too, is the overline lips. Because I noticed when you did the show, you and Kelly, I said, let me see what type of lipstick Kelly got on today. Because y'all would rock that red lipstick like it was nothing. And Trina McGee too, when y'all did the episode. But I said they rocking that red lip. But a lot of girls back then would do the brown lip now. And they try to take it, and I seen it on TikTok where they tried to rename it something, call it the brownie lip. I said, no, no, no. Tony Braxton was doing this. All the girls, Kelly, Cherry, Stacey Dash, even Mary J. Blige and T-Boss and TLC and Monica was doing this trend way before y'all decided to come along and
Oh, that's
rename
so
it the
retarded. I mean,
brownie
they
lip.
try to take everything. They done took hoop earrings and try to put it on the runway talking about it's the style. No, it's been a thing. Hoop earrings came from Africa. Long, long time ago, our royal Egyptian women were wearing hoop earrings. So y'all didn't discover that. I'm sorry, you didn't discover the baby here. And they try to take everything as it's their own. Just like they tried to rename cornrows. Is that what they try to
Boxer
call it?
braid.
Somebody asked, do you know how to? I said, that's
Boxer braid.
cornrows. Yeah, I can cornrow. I'm from the hood. We can all cornrow. They try to take and rename everything. All you just gotta laugh at it sometimes.
I like the black lipstick. That's Grace Jones that would do the black
I
lip. And I love me some Grace Jones. But Kelly and Cherry would rock their red lip on the show like it was nothing. And then Mary did it for the My Life album. And I seen so many girls do the red lip back in the day. So a lot of these beauty trends that were then are
And let
coming
me
back
tell you,
now. And they're just
I
renaming it.
can't say that I was the originator of that style because I got it from Jody Watley. Because all I ever wanted was some red lips and some earrings. And when I got old enough where I could rock it and couldn't nobody tell me nothing. See, when I was doing family members, I was still a kid, right? So my mama wasn't with all the makeup, but at work, I got to do it because I got to have a real good time in the makeup room. So I got to pretend like I was Jody Watley. That's all I ever wanted was red lips and big hoop earrings. And now all I have on is hoop earrings because I ain't got no time for all that lipstick stuff no more.
I love Jody. They got Adele and she got soul music. And someone says when I was in, let me read that. I'm reading some of you guys' comments. When I was in high school and looked at two of my black friends with long hair, but I changed and thought, I love my lips. Stop putting relaxers in the Jerry curl. Yeah, we covered that a few minutes ago, and how, relaxers, chemical relaxers, are linked to ovarian cancer. And we know that cancer and diabetes are the
I'm over here
killers of black women.
smiling. I'm over here going, hi, boo boo. Quincy's in the house. As my daughter calls him, that's Uncle Quincy. I told you my brother's gay, right? So his partner, who I wish they would hurry up and get married already so that I can officiate this wedding, would get married, but Quincy's in the house. I love you, Quinn.
It's an honor to have you here. Black lipstick is popping. Yes. Each girl had their
Yeah.
decade in the era of beauty. In the 70s, it was Pam Grier, and I did a whole post on Pam Grier yesterday. I was watching her, and she's coming out with her documentary. In the 80s, it was Grace Jones, and Diane Carroll would have been the 70s and the 80s. In the 90s, fast forward, you had Kelly, you had Cherry, you had Mary, Angelique Bates, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing not too long ago. Who else? Stacey Dash. Who else was on TV? Brandy. I mean, it was so many. So each girl had their era for beauty. Black lipstick ain't popping no more. I
Yes,
mean,
it
if you're like
is.
at a high
I
fashion
bet
show,
you I can
then
put it on
yeah,
right now and somebody will copy it.
yeah,
I got to do the rest of my face with it too, though, because you can't just put black lipstick on and don't have nothing. But some light eyes,
yeah.
give me some cheeks, a little highlighter, and some black lipstick. I bet you'd be like, "Ooh, that's pretty." We don't do.
And then
I don't do
make sure
trends.
that it's
I do what's
duplicated.
classic, and I do what I love. And whatever you love and you feel from the heart, regardless of what somebody thinks is in or out, that's how it comes back. Fashion is forever revolving. You just gave me something to do.
Whitney Houston. Yes. Speaking of which, she dropped her collection with MAC, and it is gorgeous. So I'm glad that they finally came out with a collection for her, and that's going to stand the test of time. The
Oh,
packaging is beautiful. So definitely. And she was one of the ones that I also looked up to as well, too, was Whitney, because Whitney, every time you look around every show, she had a different shade of lipstick. She had a different gown. She had everything was coordinated.
I'm trying to be
Everything was
Toni
coordinated
Braxton. You seen
beautifully.
Toni Braxton's body? Toni Braxton, Toni Braxton had me
Hmm.
outside jumping rope all week long. I'm like, I gotta get Toni's stomach. Toni Braxton is gorgeous. I'm trying to be.
And she still looks amazing. Vocally sounds good. And I seen the interview she did with Jennifer. She broke her foot. She's like, child, I'm not I'm like, Toni, you that short. Jennifer Hudson is tall. And she said her son is tall too. And Toni is short.
She is
The
small,
shortest
but
sister.
baby, but Tamar though, I need to call my girl because Tamar's stomach is together. Tamar told me last summer,
Yes.
see, we was on the phone and I was lying with Tamar, and I was like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna start working out. She was like, no, for real, I'm gonna detox. I'm gonna get myself together. Tamar did it. I didn't. I ate my 4-pack that I had is gone because I didn't ate it. But Tamar came through with a whole 6-pack, so I'm gonna have to get with her this.
Man. How? Oh, okay. History. All right. Wait a minute. Aaliyah had a. Yes, she did. Aaliyah was also one of the girls in the 90s too, and she had a MAC collection. I wish I could get that one. And someone says, how about Madam C.J. Walker and her hair products? What do you ladies think about that? And how we had those chemicals,
Well,
pressing
Madam
foams, and
CJ
other
Walker
things?
opened the
Yeah.
door for me because I wouldn't be able to do half of what I've done if it wasn't for her. In fact, I need to figure out who owns her company now because do you know that she's still making hair products? I have some of them in my daughter's room. We don't
Yeah.
use them, but we keep them up for display and memory and to pay homage.
Yes, it's called Madam. And I think her daughter, Aaliyah is her name, I think. It's spelled differently. She owns the company
Wow.
now.
That's
So yeah.
major.
And she did open the door because back in the day when it came to getting your hair done, sitting still in the kitchen, it would be that pressing comb. You remember that? And that pomade, and they would have to go in like that. And that I used to see my sister get it every morning Sunday when they go to church. So y'all know.
Yes.
Y'all know.
Hold your ear. Hold your ear.
Yes, let me get the Nate. Let me get no, it was the
Yes.
kitchen back in the day. Let me get the kitchen.
That's hilarious.
And they used to hate that. And then fast forward, we got PCJ just for me, the chemical relaxers for little girls. And oh my God, it's so many things now in the beauty world that we've invented. So many natural hair care product lines. It's like you don't know where to turn. You got
Not
Shea
owned
Moisture,
by us.
which is a good brand. And so many
Not owned by
other.
us.
Yeah,
Carol's daughter, not us anymore. Carol's daughter
at all.
used to be fabulous when they started. And if you look at products now and you read the
Yeah.
labels, it's not natural no more.
Lisa Price used to own the brand, and I know religiously it was Jada Pinkett. You would see Jada, and you would see Mary, and I think Will Smith. They would
Yeah.
all use Carol's daughters, and a
Yes. When they
number
were
of people
a
used
little
to
store
use
in
it.
Brooklyn, I used it too. Yes.
The body care, the body scrubs was everything. She had almost everything in her line, and the lip scrub, all of that. I hated the straightening comb as a kid. My poor scalp. Yes, and they redid the straightening comb. I mean, when it comes to thermal technology for your hair, they've changed so many things. Like now you got this curling wand, um, and the blow dryer, the Dyson blow dryer. Dyson is the vacuum company. They got a blow dryer now. So Vaseline and lotion for
And
my
we
hair
wonder,
only.
but look, we wonder
Oh,
why our um, follicles are clogged. Vaseline is made with petroleum jelly. Petroleum they make tires with. So black people wonder why their hair don't grow because you got petroleum jelly clogging up your follicles. But yes, my mama did.
mhm. You got to
Yes,
let
it's
that
all
scalp breathe. You were saying, I'm sorry.
it's all they knew back in the day. My mama did it too. I got Vaseline on my lips right now though, even though I should.
Yeah, you can put it on your skin, but that hair, you gotta let that scalp breathe. Because I remember I used to wear a lot of weaves when I started doing this platform. I would put my weaves in and stuff, and that glue, I stopped using that glue. I said, you know what? When season 15 of Style arrived, I said, okay, let me invest into some lace front wigs and change over and do something different. And I love the quality of it. And more importantly, wearing
It's
protective styles is the way to go. You know, protect your hair. Your hair is a part of you. It is your crown and glory. So protect your hair. You know, if you're gonna do thermal,
yes.
I see a lot of blowouts. Please make sure that you use a thermal setting spray. And we both use Taraji, me and Sherry. And I use her hot commodity thermal setting spray. So if you're gonna flat
Now,
iron, curl,
people will
anything,
hate me
that's
when I
the
say
one.
this, but I don't do that. And I also don't use any kind of grease or oil when I'm flat ironing my hair because what it does is it ends up burning your hair like you're frying chicken, you frying your hair.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I,
you
I,
frying
I
your
know
hair.
that
So I
smell.
don't use a very, very hot flat iron at all. And like I said, I only flat iron my hair a couple times a year, but even when I flat ironed it all the time, I would do it with nothing in it. And then I would take my serum, the wild cherry hair serum, and use like a dime size. And then I would run it through my hair after. But I didn't put it on my hair to flat iron it because it's like, it's chicken. I don't want my hair.
Oh yeah, because you use that thermal spray. I know I've used it on a couple of my wigs. I'm like, it's just like real hair. And you hear that. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
it for me. I know the burning hair
scary.
smell all too well.
I love it.
I'm loving the conversation.
Oh, thank you. I love the fact that you join
Up
in.
to I'm
No, it's
sorry, I
me.
keep
I said
cutting
I
you
love the
off.
fact that you let your audience join in. I'm with you reading the comments.
Yes, they're loving the conversation. This has been a long awaited interview. When I announced that you was coming on the platform, people were like, oh my God, she's
Oh,
coming on. You're
thank
gonna
you.
have her. Yes, she's here. Dax hair grease. Yes, I remember that. Luster's pink lotion. I still swear by that till this day. That is one of my favorites. So yes, I'm a proud owner of Luster's. What's another product that was out back then that
Blue
people
magic.
used to swear by?
Everybody
And
has some blue
oh,
magic in their house.
My grandmother, she loves Blue Magic. She will use it to this day to do her ponytail. She's just like, I don't do nothing but put a little bit of water and Blue Magic and put my hair in a ponytail and go. That's how my grandmother is. She's simple. She don't do all the
That
extra
is
stuff that me and my
too
mom would
funny
do.
and too cute. Like you walk in certain houses and you know you go see the African pride, you go see some Blue Magic, some Pro Style gel. You gonna see that in my
Yes.
house. I'm very guilty of Pro Style.
And the toothbrush late for my ladies out there, those baby hairs, we lay that down, that does that, and all of these styles. Pink lotion. This is beautiful. I almost missed it. Wow, the brands, yes. And get Cherry's hair products. They are amazing. Yes, Wild Cherry is amazing. And they've got the latherless shampoo, the co-wash and go, the hair serum, which she mentioned, and also the conditioner.
You
So
know why natural
definitely go and
products don't
invest.
lather like normal other products do? It's a chemical that actually makes
Yeah.
soap lather. So when there's no chemicals in it, there's a little, like, but it's not bubbly what you are used to. And that's because it's a chemical. So don't use more. A lot of people have come to us and they said that they used more because it wasn't lathering. I'm like, baby, it's not going to lather. So we put it on the label now so that people know. You don't need to use more. In fact, you can use less than you would a normal shampoo and a normal conditioner because it's just 100% natural ingredients. You can pronounce everything that's on the bottle. I got a DM last week from a lady, and it was the hugest compliment ever. I told her that we don't know if we can cure alopecia, right? Because you have to look at the scalp. Some people who have alopecia, their follicles are closed,
Yeah.
but if your follicles are open, then Wild Cherry can help your hair grow. She said that her daughter has been using it for a week and the hair is growing back. So that made me ecstatic.
And you got a question, Cherry. Someone wants to know, are you opening a black owned beauty
I
supply store?
am not at this time. And one of the reasons why I'm not is because when you run a business, you have to be there. You have to be there all the time. I tried to open a
Yeah.
restaurant in 2010. And it was like 2 months after I opened my restaurant, I got a movie. And so I left to do the movie because that's what I do. And everything went to shit. So no, because it's kind of like you have to be there. You have to oversee it. It's never going to run the way you want it to if you're not there. And then when you deal with cash businesses, unfortunately, people steal.
And someone said you totally
I
should
have a business. It is
open a new
called
business.
Keeping It All Natural. It is in Miami, and we are a wellness center. We do sell products, though. Keeping It Natural has its own line. Wild Cherry has its own line. If you're looking for it, you can find it at keepingitallnatural.com. So maybe if there's some Black owned companies out there who would like some shelf space at our wellness center, I'm definitely open to that. My partner Alicia Larrier, she would definitely be open to that as well. But opening a whole beauty supply, who gonna watch it? Who gonna take care of it? Who can I trust? Can I trust you? Since it was
Right.
your idea, you want to come in and be manager and manage it? Because we can maybe set that up. I got some good business credit.
Now, however, speaking of black owned beauty supply stores, shout outs to Dr. Heavenly from you guys watch Married to Medicine. She has her own black owned beauty supply store in Atlanta. And she's there. She has her own wigs, her own bundles, all of that, and so much more. And there are other black
Absolutely.
owned beauty supply stores out there because when we walk into a beauty supply store, we already
Yeah, we spend all the money.
we know what's up.
I actually
It's
have
not
a family
owned
that
by
are in
us.
Florida
It's
and
them.
they own, I believe, 3, and they're a Black family who owns 3 beauty supply stores. So if you're in Florida and you're holla at me, I will
Yeah.
find the information for you and I will DM it back.
I'm gonna try the products. You
Try
gonna
it
try Wild
and
Cherry?
make a public post because I am not worried about what you're going to say about us. And let us know if you like it.
All right, and that lets you know right then and there that there are Black-owned beauty supply stores out there, because when, like I said, when we walk into the nail shops or a beauty supply store, we know what's up. It's nobody that
And
looks
that's the
like
thing.
us.
One habit. One
Because
habit. Maybe you gotta drive 20 minutes further to find the black-owned beauty supply store. But drive there. Make it on a day that's convenient to you on the way to grandma's house or something.
you are a whole Black businesswoman. We
I need
need
y'all
you.
too.
We need your
There is no me
presence.
without y'all. So I appreciate it.
Bigger the
Oh, that's
hoop,
the
the
first time
bigger the
I heard
heart.
that. Thank you, boo. I won't tell, but one of the kids that I know told me it was the bigger the hoop, the bigger the. And I said, well, same thing. I don't want them.
Oh, you're in Utah. Someone says they're in Utah, and that says there's not a lot of Black-owned businesses out there where that person lives.
Maybe we can talk. You tell me what's missing. Let's make it happen, Captain.
And start pointing into your community. When this pandemic first happened, a lot of people, a lot of businesses were shut down. It affected everybody, and everybody was just like, "What am I going to do? What is going to be the next thing for me? The next business venture for me?" And a lot of Black-owned businesses popped up. I mean, we had the first Black Wall Street, but it's sad that it took this for now people to realize that we are our own. We invent the products. We are the culture. And there's so many things out here that we can invent that we don't have to go to these stores and purchase. Save your dollar and
Absolutely.
invest
You know
into
what
your
really
own.
helped our business that since everything was closed down, we had a spa that was in an apartment complex at this time, right? One of the high-rise complexes in Miami. And we were closed, but people couldn't get things like shampoo and conditioner. They couldn't get their hair products down. We were not allowed to
Ooh.
operate because, the state had shut us down, but we were able to sell and send out products.
That's how you do it. You go around where there's an obstacle in the way, you go
Yeah.
around and help your people out. And don't worry about the price. I hate when people do that, when they're just like, "Oh, I would buy it, but it's just too
But you
high."
can't say that with
What
us
the price
because
though?
the shampoo and conditioner is the same price as everybody else's. So one of the things that we did when we went into business is we said we wanted to price responsibly. You can get our products from $12 to $22, and nothing costs more than $22.
And that's
I think so.
reasonable. That's reasonable. So go out here and invest into your community. Invest into your own people, because there's people out here who are looking, to make a coin just like
Absolutely.
you.
And then we were there for the people. We opened up our doors in that apartment complex when people didn't have no soap. They didn't have any hand soap, and that was cracking me up because I was like, white people, you can use body soap as hand soap, but our shampoos also can double as a body soap and a hand soap and everything. So we were making disinfectant for them. It was all natural, and we were selling a lot of shampoo because people had ran out of soaps.
See? Compromise.
Yes.
Work with what you got. Work with what you got.
And we
And someone mentioned Madam C.J. Walker in the mid part of our interview. Yeah, she worked with what she had. She saw the other women were losing their hair and things, and she went in this kitchen. She invented, mixed up a few things, and
Yeah,
next thing you know, she's got a whole line.
absolutely. And it's beautifully bottled. I don't know if you've seen her new bottles, but if you haven't seen her new bottles, Google them. They're gorgeous. Like I said, they sit on the shelf in my daughter's bathroom. We don't use them, but just to pay homage for her opening the door for women like me.
Yes, Madam. The collection is everything. When I seen the commercial and the naturally curly hair, I said I have to get
You
me this
do? Do
thing. I
you
used to
love it?
shampoo.
I have, but it's like
Mm.
nostalgia. Like I won't open it. And I probably should. It's so silly. I could go buy more, but I just thought that the packaging was so gorgeous that I wanted to keep it.
The purple, the blue, every I love it. When I seen it, I said, I have to get it. And I went into the store and I seen the shampoo, I seen the conditioner. I struggle with my hair. Why you say that?
You struggle with
Our
it how,
minister.
my love? Is it that you don't know what to do? Because, okay, let me tell you something about me. This is being completely transparent. I'm from the hood, right? But once I got a job, my mom moved me to a really nice neighborhood called Agora Hills in Westlake Village. There ain't no black people out there. I struggle with mine too. I didn't know what to do with it until I found the hood. I got a driver's license, and if you watch Family Matters, you can see the difference. The earlier shows, my hair was puffy because me and Darius would be running around playing and stuff, and it was like funny color red. And then all of a sudden, once I turned 16, my hair was beautiful and flowing and more flat because I found the hood. I got a driver's license, and I used to drive to Melanie's house, who lived near USC, which if anybody knows is South Central, and I would get my hair did. She taught me how to wrap my hair and how to take care of my hair. So maybe you need a hair mentor, boo. You need to know something about some hair you struggling, holla. We'll hook you up. Look, you got a whole cosmetologist right here on the online. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Miss Stevie. We'll hook you up.
Yes, I got you, my love. And I work with natural hair. I don't just work with chemically treated hair like my own. I work with natural hair because I know a lot of people don't like a lot of. It's so many gels and co-washes. And if you go and you go to a store and you look, it's like, okay, you've got this brand, and it's just like, oh my God, I don't know what to choose. Everything looks good and it smells good, but what is actually going to work for my hair? So you have to go with what works for your hair. And I know for me, what works for my hair. Um, what products am I using? I use Kim Kimball's. I use Taraji P. Henson. Anything that is black owned. Um, of course, Luster's is one of my favorite products, and I will even take it back to the old school. I will use Optimum. Optimum is a good product also as well too. The Sheen sprays,
And what
the conditioners, everything.
yeah,
So anything
but a lot of
soft,
people
clean.
don't
Yes.
understand too. What works for your hair now might not work for your hair in spring. And one of the reasons why I have my products and other people's products is every
Mhm.
3 months you should change out your shampoo because your body starts responding to it differently. Um, I don't know if it's like buildup. I don't know what it is because there's nothing in our shampoo that can be a buildup. But I know that if I use my shampoo for like 4 months and then
Yeah.
the season change, I might have to go use a bottle of Taraji's shampoo, until it empties and then switch back to mine. So our hair needs, just like everybody else and everything else, sometimes it needs a change so that it can respond differently.
And I've had to switch out products. Trust me, my mom has even told me you have to switch out products sometime. I'm just like, well, they don't make this particular hair
Every three
product
months,
anymore. Every
switch
three
out your
months.
products and,
I'm
and,
telling you.
and do something else, even if it works for you. So if you find like 4 good products or 3 good products that work for you, you rotate them throughout the year.
Definitely. So I hope that helps. They made a black Barbie doll of Madam C.J. Walker. Yes, they
Oh,
did. I
I've
seen
never owned a
that
Barbie.
because
No,
they didn't look like
they
us
didn't look
back in the
like us
day.
at
They didn't look
all.
like us.
And so my mother had always like steered me away from them. And people now always ask me, well, did you get the such and such Barbie? And I said, who? And this is horrible to say because I know the people who actually run Mattel. But I tease the all the time, and like us. So I Barbie. My daughter has some, but I've never had one.
And someone mentioned it earlier in the comments. Again, representation is key. There's a young lady who has a company called Fresh Dolls, and the dolls have naturally curly hair. You can wash it and style it any way you like. And that's the type of representation that I want to see because our hair, when it comes to black hair, is so many different textures. It's so many different layers to it. Like one girl is not going to have naturally curly hair. One girl is not going to have wavy hair. One girl is not going to have bone straight hair. We have so many different hair textures. And that's the thing that makes us as black people as a collective as Black women mainly so unique is that we have different hair textures. We're able, whatever we put on our hair might work, whatever I put on my hair might not work for the next person. So you do what makes your hair feel good as long as you're taking care of it. And I want to ditch the whole, oh, that's bad hair narrative. No, everybody, natural hair is beautiful hair. Natural hair is beautiful hair. It's not bad hair. So we're out of the phase where people are looking at natural hair where it's just like, oh, your kinks, your coils, they're everything. There was a singing group back in the day, Cherry, and I'm pretty sure you remember these ladies, called For Real. It's a girl group called For Real. And they came out, they had the buzz cuts and everything, and then they just transformed and they started wearing the curly afros and their natural styles and everything. Wendy Williams, who's one of the singers in the group, she now has dreadlocks. So these girls, For Real, was all about embracing their naturally curly textured hair. And then you've had girl groups like TLC, T-Boz with the funky haircut and everything. And then Escape came in, Coco from SWV. When they started, they were wearing their natural hair. And then you'll see her wear it straight every now and again. But Coco, I remember Coco from SWV was saying, yes, Janae, they had the buzz cuts too. So it was Coco from SWV. She said when they first started, they were wearing, everything was pressed out. That was their real hair. And then when they did, what was it, their second album, she said they started wearing the weaves. That's when you start to see the weaves come out. And weaves became popular in the 90s. If you seen, what was it, Babs with Halle Berry and Natalie Desselle.
Yeah, because what happened probably is they went on tour and their natural hair got toe up. So they had no choice but to put on a weave.
That heat, that light, who was it? It was Lonnie Love. Lonnie Love said something on one of her interviews. And she was saying that lighting, when you're on set, that lighting can be damaging to your hair. So that's why a lot of people are starting to revert to weaves or wigs, protective styling, because they can't do that.
One of the reasons why I don't wear makeup, my skin is by far not flawless, but I'm okay with it because it's mine. I'm allergic to makeup. And makeup is cool, like if I wear it and I run to the store with it, or if I go to the club, I don't do that no more. But when I used to, I can go to the club with some makeup on, but after you sit under those lights for 12, 16 hours a day, and that stuff is baking literally in your pores, it ruins your skin and your face. So I try not to touch makeup as long as I'm not working. That's how you know that Cherry ain't got no job, her skin look good. But if Cherry got a job, her skin look toe up. So it's my job hazard.
And I've noticed that you stopped wearing makeup, after the show and everything. I'm like, she's just going for a whole new outlook.
Unfortunately, there was no, well, I can't say unfortunately, because fortunately, when I grew up, there was no social media. So when we clocked out, per se, we was gone. But now you can't take your customer service badge off because people don't want to let you. But if you would have gotten to see me, I never wore makeup outside of Friday nights when we shot our show. Is the only time you saw me with makeup on. And the only time people see me with makeup on now is when I go to work. It's never been who I am.
And another thing for all of my makeup lovers out there, because you can tell I love a glam, I love a lash, I love a contour, highlight, all of that. But make sure that you're taking your makeup off at night. Don't get lazy, because a lot of people will just sleep in their makeup. And I get it if you're just getting home from work or whatever. But that bacteria develops on your pillow and everything. Make sure you change your pillowcases out, wash your face daily. And I know before I put any drop of any makeup on my face, anything, any fashion fair, anything, I will make sure that I cleanse my face. And even afterwards, I will throw some makeup wipes in your bag. You can't go wrong. You're on the go.
Yes, and stop sleeping on cotton pillowcases for your skin.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest. I'm not a bonnet girl. I'm not to put my scarf on every night. Half the time when I wake up, it's gone anyway. So I make sure that I have, and it don't have to be an expensive satin pillowcase. I just got my daughter one. It was like $13 or something. So
mom and my aunts will do the bonnets. But me, I can't
I
do it. I sleep
tried,
on
like
a satin
I'll go to
pillowcase.
sleep with it on. I just wake up and it's gone. It's like the bonnet thief came and took it off.
I can't. My mom, she's wearing a crochet. She's wearing a curly, wild, beautiful crochet hair right now, and I have to help her tuck it underneath the bonnet and everything. So, yeah, she does the bonnet cap. Me, I sleep
I
right on a
don't even
satin
sleep
pillowcase.
wild.
That's
That's the
better for
thing.
me.
Like I kind of hold still, but I don't know what happens. It creeps up.
They're so silky, and it's just like, okay, it's not gonna stay put. Especially if you got fine hair, your hair is
And then
really, really
I got
fine.
tired of
Yeah,
tying my
it's not.
scarf right here because I was getting headaches because I was tying it so tight to try to keep it on. I just gave up. It's not that serious to me no more.
Everyone says they
Hey, We
love your
Detroit
Detroit
is a
hat.
company called We Detroit. You can find them on IG, and I actually tagged them in their website in my story earlier. So if you are from Detroit and you want a Detroit hat, check out my boy. I rep Detroit proudly because the lady who was Susie Garrett, who played my grandmother on Punky Brewster, she was from Detroit.
Okay. All right, fashion dolls, y'all go and support. If y'all like that hat, definitely go and support. And Cher is all about supporting Black-owned businesses. We had an amazing
Oh,
conversation. I know I can't keep her, and I know you guys had a lot of questions, but this was a great conversation, and it was very informative because from both ends, Cherry offered some advice. I offered some advice as well too on supporting Black-owned businesses. So I hope a lot of you took some notes because Christmas will be here before you know it. And that was going to be my last question for you, Cherry. What do you have planned for the Christmas holidays? Because I know a lot of parents, we just got through with Black Friday sales. I don't have kids. I'm Auntie Stevie. I don't have kids, and my nieces and nephews is already grown up. My niece is in college and such. Shout outs to her. But what advice would you give to the parents out here who are shopping
the
for their
first thing I
kids
want
for the
to tell
Christmas
parents is don't go
holidays?
broke. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make kids' dreams come true because kids don't remember, honestly, what they get most of the time. 5 years, there might be one or two things that
Yeah.
they really want that they'll tell you and that they might remember if they don't get. But all that extra stuff is really for you. It's really so you feel like, oh, I'm such a good parent. I have all these things under the tree. Make a moment. Spend a moment with your kid. Like my kid knows, she's known for a long time that there's no Santa. So she calls me Mommy Claus, right? So one of the things that I make sure that we do, she always says, "Thank you, Mommy Claus." And I say, "You're welcome, baby." But we make moments together through the whole Christmas holiday. We also celebrate Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. But we
Yeah.
make those moments where we make our gingerbread house every December 9th. Our gingerbread came from Five and Below. Mommy didn't make no gingerbread, but Five and Below. So that means it wasn't more than $5. You know what I'm saying? And then I got some gingerbread mix, literally, like I think it cost like $2 or something. So we're gonna make some gingerbread because mommy don't know how to make gingerbread from scratch. We Black, my mama never did that, so I don't know how to do it. But those are the moments that she's gonna remember more than opening up her gifts. So just whatever makes your kid happy. There's games that you can play on Christmas. Maybe do some additions, because it's the
Oh
time that
yeah.
they spend and it's people that's there. It's not about what's wrapped. So don't go broke this holiday trying to be good mommy and daddy because that's not really what it's about.
And y'all, and some of y'all parents need to be ashamed of y'allself out there. I've seen videos of y'all literally fighting at some of these Black Friday sales to
It's
get y'all
not
child a toy. It is
so
not
funny
worth it.
because my daughter
Mm-mm.
and I were in a store and she wanted these shoes, right? They were black and pink checkered, no brand name shoes. And I'm like, people are dying to buy their kids Jordans and all these expensive shoes. Your kid would be happier with Batman or some LOL shoes or something like that.
Yeah,
Like they don't care. That's not for them. That's for you. Stop. We're grown. Stop caring what
so
other
good.
people think and really, think about a child's level and do what makes the kids gonna be happy. And that's not spending a lot of money.
You reminded me so much of Jennifer Hudson when you said that, Cherry, because I was watching her show and her son wanted a pair of sneakers. And we know
Yeah.
how some boys are about the sneakers and stuff. Um, her producer of her show directed her to a shoe store, and the shoe was like in the thousands. And Jennifer
You
was like, she's from
tripping.
Chicago, so she was like, who about to buy this shoe, baby? Who shoe this for? Jennifer, you know how she is. She said, who shoe this for, baby? No, we gonna look at that section over there. This shoe is not for me. So I don't blame Jennifer. For me, you shouldn't spend that much on a gift. Well, unless you're somebody like Beyonce or Cardi B, then I
Not a
understand.
kid, because my
But
walk out
no,
5
not me.
minutes later, they're gonna be dusty and
Right.
crusty.
They,
No, and I'm
they're
gonna tell
not
my
gonna
kid,
look
don't
the
get your
same.
shoes dirty.
Mm-mm.
No, you go outside and you play. It's a gift when kids go outside now. You know what I'm saying? My kids climbs a tree. I
Yeah,
want the kids to get off the Roblox and put the iPad down and go outside and play. Don't yell at them about getting their shoes dirty. Let them live.
exactly. Savings, bonds, and
Yeah.
investments. Yes, take that $1,000 and put it somewhere else. If you got it, you got it. You give your
A life.
children the best Christmas. But no, if you're a parent
Yeah,
that's reasonable,
get them a
right?
life. And no,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying that that's so
Go
much
ahead.
more important. My godson, I talked to his parents because he was just born. So Christmas, he's going to just be making like 6 months, right? And I said, I send you as a little something, but I don't want to send toys and clothes and stuff like that. So can we open him up a bank account? And Auntie will make deposits because that makes more sense for his future than it does for me to go buy him toys. And they were all for it. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful.
Did y'all see the video of someone who ripped a toy out of the kid's hands because it was Black Friday? Like
I
a
saw
grown
it.
person
And
snatching
as
up.
a mother, I was happy that the mother handled it. I would have did it a little bit more brutal. But people are just ignorant. And there's no discernment nowadays. There's no discernment between children and old people. The way when I grew up, it was all right. You want to take these middle life people and handle them however you want, but you will have some respect for children and old people. And people don't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Neither. I mean, who do that to a child?
Somebody who was not taught empathy. And I've learned that we, as a culture, are literally different, right? Empathy is in our DNA, for the most part. Some of us now, we ain't got no empathy either, but for the most part, empathy is in our DNA. Some of the other cultures, that's missing. That's missing from their.
I'm a pin that. I'm a pin that right there. Shout outs to Summer. Commercial break. They done announced your home
Thank you.
website. They
Thank you.
promoting your business.
Oh,
Let me pin it. There we go. So you guys can go and shop Cherry's World and check out Wild Cherry. That's right. And teaching the kids about something useful, reasonable, and not being so much materialistic. There was the best buy of grown men fighting over well, that's a whole different conversation. You know how men are about
but it's
television.
sad. Like, let your brother have the TV, bro. It's the TV. I understand it's a good, but if you gotta fight to get the TV you want, maybe all your morals is in the wrong place. It's a TV.
Find something else. Find something else. It's not the end of the world, but I have brothers and a father, so I know that the men in my family, they I don't know what they would do without television. I don't know what men in general would do without television.
Shoot,
Lord.
some women too. But I mean, come on,
Yes.
some people, I think they lose touch with reality and what's really important.
Like, it's not the end of the world. You'll be able to find other things. There's other outlets out there. I wish my teachers would teach me something useful, like how to do taxes, but baby, don't get me started on their tax seasons. And I know a lot of people dread that the
Taxes,
most.
I don't
So
dread
definitely.
it. Maybe because I have a really good accountant. And she's Black. Her name is Cashmere. If you need her number, make sure you hit me up and I will definitely send you over to Cashmere. But yeah, I homeschool. And one of the reasons why I homeschool is because I think that there's a lot of things missing from the curriculum. The school curriculum has never been
Yeah.
changed ever since school has started. And it was basically implemented to play on the self-esteem of our Black and brown children and to make one ethnicity superior and bring the other one down. So I wanted to make sure that my child does learn those things like taxes, real estate, the buying process, the selling process, the difference between being a producer and a consumer. School was taught originally to have people run factories so that people would get acclimated to, being somewhere from 9 to 5 and from doing the same work over and over again. It's to build robots. It's to build employers, not, employees. I'm sorry, not employers. I don't want my daughter to work for somebody. I want her to have her own business.
And I agree with what you said 100% because I've noticed that even when I was going to school, like some of the
Mm-hmm.
teachers who were not, they were a different color. They would favor other students until that. And there would be kids literally our color, our complexion, and they're struggling with math. And the
Mm-hmm.
teacher would just overlook them. And not only that, but even when it came to Black history, they wouldn't. We noticed certain
I grew
things.
up in a
Y'all would
white
leave out
neighborhood,
limits.
and the only thing Black history that they ever wanted to teach was Martin Luther King, and the teachers would turn on Roots and tell you to watch it. Being the only Black child sitting in the class with all these white people while Roots was on did nothing but piss me off because everybody turned around and look at you, and I'd be like, "What you looking at?" I had a bad attitude anyway, so school was not a fun experience for me. I wasn't there often, but I learned how to wiggle my way out of school. And that's one of the reasons why I kept working. Because if I worked, I didn't have to sit in that classroom and be taught those lies. My grandmother told me before I went to kindergarten, she said, let me tell you who you are before school tells you who you are. And always make our history
Come on.
start at slavery, which is such a lie. My family from the 1700s, it's on the census, they're landowners. They're farmers, they're blacksmiths. And you can watch their ethnicity change, and you could watch our last names change because the white people did the census and they didn't know how to spell. So because they didn't know how to spell, our names had changed over time, and so did the ethnicity of our family. But my grandmother thought it was important for me to know that I was indigenous to this country and they're visitors. So the same people who came in with the curriculum who wanted to tell me that my history started with Christopher Columbus that got lost,
Yeah.
I got in trouble in kindergarten because I challenged I refused to color the Mayflower. And Mrs. Megaretto, who's my teacher at the time, I won't say she was a mean lady, but I didn't like her for the rest of the year because, and Columbus Day used to be in October, so it was like all school year I ain't like this lady. Because she started her little spiel, and I was like, but you lying though. I understand you got a job, but you lying. And so school and I never really, it wasn't a good experience for me growing up.
Oh my goodness. And I see a lot of y'all agreeing. That's right, Cherry, about the school. Yes, shame. I went through the same thing through that too on Black people being yeah. When to them, Black History Month to them is just all about Martin Luther King. No, no, there's so many other Black inventors. What about
Right.
and creators out here? What about Matthew Henson? What about
They
Shirley Chisholm? There's so many
they don't
others.
feel
These
that they
people
can
don't
give
get
us
the
our accolades
recognition.
because for some reason it's taking away from them. It's sad. And they're trying to do it.
And it's a sad reality to see, even when it comes to the entertainment, some aspects of the entertainment industry. And Angelique Bates, I interviewed Angelique, and she was kind of saying something to the same extent too. They
Yeah,
try to erase Black culture. We are the culture. We invented the culture, and they try to
absolutely.
erase it.
They try to take everything. In school, when I was in second grade, I'm from the East Coast and we came to California. I had an accent. I'm a Black and Puerto Rican kid, right? So they put me in this class and it was an ESL class. And I didn't understand why I was there. English as a second language was a class that they put me in because I guess they couldn't understand my accent, but I spoke English. So I was like the only person in the room who spoke English. And I was confused and wanted to fight because I was like in second grade in an ESL class. I should have never been there. They just need to listen a little bit harder.
Now, I mean, even though I'm white, I would never write something racist on someone's. That's so ignorant. Yes, and only us can tell our stories. So I agree with that. They owned up to it. And the thing about it is, it's up
Yeah.
to us to tell our stories. We can only tell our stories. And I just seen a clip today. Whoopi Goldberg. Um, she said, "I am not allowing nobody to tell a story about my life. I'm not about to let nobody tell a story about my life." She said, "That's even in my will. It's written in the will that I don't want nobody to tell a story about my life. But you are in
Yeah.
charge of your story, and that's your choice." So, I agree with what she said, on telling your story. You are the
Well,
one
because
that
the
tells your
narrative that
story,
they
no one
gave
else.
Whoopi all these years, they tried to make her the unattractive Black woman, and Whoopi's gorgeous. Like when you look at Whoopi's younger jumping jack flash pictures and stuff, Whoopi's absolutely positively
Mhm.
gorgeous. I wouldn't want them to tell my story. If something happened to me, don't let them tell you my story either, because I'm gonna tell you why I'm here. You want to know? Ask.
Yeah, I see that today, and I just cackled. I said, like, and then the picture that they had of her, I just cackled. Like I said, yeah, I can imagine her saying this because it's true. Only you are in charge of your destiny, your story, and what happened in your life.
Yeah,
I can't tell
that's
someone
not
else's
cool.
story.
Especially because you gonna be gone. You can't even get your rebuttal out. Like, it didn't happen like that. You don't got no say so.
And that brought me to my last question, Sherry. Who would you get to play you in a
Oh
bio
my
about your life?
God. I
What
don't there
actress?
is not one. There really is not one. I mean, if I go tomorrow, I would have to say Alexis Fields, because everybody says that Alexis and I look alike. And that I
Yeah, it's a strong
so I would
canny
say
resemblance.
Alexis Fields. I used to would have said Paula Jai Parker. Look like, but the attitude is so funny.
Mm.
Her whole attitude is so funny. But I would have to say maybe Alexis Fields.
All right. I could see that because you two resemble each other. And Alexis is one of the 90s girls too,
I've
so it ties in
I've
perfect.
known her since she
It
was
ties in
4 years
perfect.
old. And I think she is one of the most adorable little things. And I mean, she's a grown woman now. Now she's a sexy little thing. But she used to be an adorable little thing. Or Kyla Pratt. Kyla Pratt got my attitude too. She always had is spunky
Yeah.
and gorgeous. But these are grown women now.
And we've seen them grow up right before our
Yeah.
very eyes. Sister, and then the Proud family, and all the now they're
I
moms. Your mom too says, and someone says that you
thank
are their
you,
childhood crush in
honey.
the
And you know what is so
comments.
funny? Like I hear that a lot, which is really weird because I didn't even know I was cute till I was like 30. So I really appreciate that.
Someone says Kyla will be good.
Kyla
Hi,
would be
Fee Brown
amazing,
actor.
but my daughter would be amazing, but she probably wouldn't do it. She doesn't like people to tell her what to do. So acting is not in her forte at all. She acts all day, but it's
Oh,
on her own accord. She says she's going to be an engineer. Being an actor is corny.
he said in the bio, I'm playing that love interest. Uh-oh.
Okay. I wrote a whole book about my love interests and my dating life. I don't know if you want to do that, sir. It's called Stupid Guy's Diary.
Your spirit is amazing, and I love your transparency. I love Cherry. We all love her, and we just got this bond. We've been talking for over an hour.
You got
An
me away
hour.
from the kids. You see how quiet it is? Out here, no kid, no puppy, no nothing. I'm thankful to be here.
And I'm glad to
Thank
have
you.
you. It was such an honor. My childhood crush. I'm playing the love interest. I love you. Yeah, so much love. How does this feel to know throughout your, because you're a vet, you are a legend. When I put legendary on the flyer, someone says legendary. I said, yes, she is legendary. She's been in the game for a
41.
minute, for a long time. And yes, how does that make you feel to know that your fans have stuck with you throughout the years? They're still supporting you. They're watching your podcast. I love your podcast, and I've watched a couple episodes. And I know your mom. You said your mom watched the episode. I just seen
Yes.
what's his name, Suave, who's an adult film legend, coming here somewhere in the comments. You said that was the funny
Yeah.
part. Your mom watched the show and stuff like that. But to hear your transparency from your acting career and everything, how does it feel to know that your fans have stuck
Honestly
with
can't
you
even
in the
call
time?
anybody a fan. Like, you guys are my friends. We grew up together. And not only did we grow up together, but it is such a
Yeah.
treasure to continue to be able to grow with you guys. We've literally, I got boobs with you guys. I started my period with y'all. I had my first boyfriend with y'all, my first zits with y'all. I didn't have my first heartbreak with y'all. Now we're all, parents and trying to do this whole marriage and kids and puppies and like we Christmas shopping together. So I can't say fans. I have to say my friends. And I just appreciate knowing that I have lifelong friends. And I'm thankful for this industry giving me that, because it's truly been a gift where a lot of people, it's gonna make me cry, but a lot of people go through the holidays especially lonely because they've lost everybody that they feel like, they had. Their family is gone as we get older. So many of us are losing parents and loved ones. I'm never lonely because I always have you guys. And my mom is still here.
Oh,
I'm so
Terry.
thankful. But to know that, like, I literally get love every day from people who I might not have ever met, but we grew up together. That's special. And I feel it and I appreciate it and I truly love you all back. What a beautiful gift that so many people don't get. There's so many of our Black women who have never been loved correctly by a Black man. And instead of God
Come on.
giving me like one Black man or one father, I've been given a gorgeous village. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Stevie, I got you as a sister, you know what I'm saying? And without this industry, I would have never done that. So for that, I'm thankful and I love you guys more than, I'm getting old because I'm sentimental now. But I love you guys more
Girl,
than words could
good.
ever express. So thank you for loving me. I truly love you back, each and every one of you. Damn,
We love you too,
you
girl. We didn't mean to make you cry.
you
We
made
didn't mean to
me
make you
cry. I
cry at
don't do
all.
that. I'm good at controlling other people's emotions. People don't usually control mine.
Oh, oh my goodness. We didn't mean to make you cry at all, but they're
It's
giving you so much love
genuine
in the
though,
comments. We
and I
love you
love you
more.
too. And I appreciate you guys.
Oh, my dear, we are so grateful for you. Beautiful spirit. You
Oh,
speak divine truth. Yes.
likewise. Sometimes it's not so eloquently, but it's always pure and from my heart.
And people appreciate that authenticity because in this industry, we've been filtered. We have
I
to
don't.
speak a certain way, but as Black women,
Yeah, I don't code
we're
switch
not going to
very
stay
well
filtered.
in the room with anybody.
I can't do it either. And that was something that I put on my vision board for 2023 because I was telling my shout outs to Alan Yankee, my fraternal, my brother K Toops this. I said, being a Black woman in this industry is required. We got to stay quiet about certain things. But not anymore. So going into 2023, I'm gonna be
Oh yeah,
even more vocal. I'm gonna vocal as I am now, but speak out. If you see something is wrong,
absolutely.
call
I
it out. Call
gotta
it to the
address
front table.
Brody. Just wrote me that he sees me live and I'm crying online. Brody, I am crying. I'm fine, baby. It's sentimental. I feel loved. And I'm crying because the industry has given me the opportunity to have friends everywhere. I,
And we love you, girl.
I
We
love you
we love
too,
you 100%.
wholeheartedly.
When the industry doesn't appreciate you,
I'm
remember the
not worried.
fans never
I
forget you,
live for the
and they
industry.
never forgot you. All this love that you're getting here
I
and from the audience, they
I
they
am
love you
so thankful. That's what I'm
truly.
telling you. It's every day and it's all day. And it's just a reminder that, there's still good people in this world. Yeah, I got them haters and yeah, I get them people to talk about me too. But for one hater, there's 30 more that got my back. So I'm thankful. And this world is still a beautiful place. You just got to open up your eyes and see it.
And V Brown actor, that now you don't get me to cry now. I'm trying to hold on to
Oh,
the
no.
last lashes that I got, baby. He said, I'm glad you are still with us. So many have fallen. Yes, like this year we lost Irene Cara, Christy Alley. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's 2022. I can sum it up. It's been an emotional
So
roller coaster for
Irene
everybody.
was my
So,
Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? That was like my first girl crush. And it crushed me.
and she was so young. I told my mom just the other day about Christy Alley and Irene Cara. My mom didn't really know who she was. I said, Mom, you haven't seen Sparkle. You don't know the remake with Whitney Houston and Jordan Sparks. And then I showed her the picture of Irene. She said, "Oh, I've seen her. She was on Sanford and Son and all the other shows because she watches Sanford and
Irene was
Son
the first
and stuff
pair of
like
boobs
that."
I ever saw, mama. To your mama, my mama already know that. But that was the first pair of boobs I ever saw. I was like, I'm gonna give me some of them.
And then Kirsty was like, I think she was 71 years old. That because we've seen her on shows like Veronica's
The
Closet
sweet,
and
funny,
so many
gorgeous.
others. To see her pass away, like, yeah. Then the man for Walker Texas Ranger, and he did Matlock.
DMX.
So it's just like life is,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot.
We've lost
The lady
too
that I
many.
wrote my book with, my first book, Two Walks of Life, she got the COVID shot and shortly after had a stroke in the car with her daughters, and she didn't survive it. So it's been a tremendous loss this year, but like I said, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful to still be here. I'm so thankful to be here with y'all and my family. Um, yeah, life is truly a gift. I just told my daughter that this morning while we were homeschooling.
Cherish every minute of it, y'all. Cherish every minute of it. It is too short. We are
And I
losing too many people.
nowhere.
Make sure
No,
that you're
I
giving
said, and
people.
I ain't
Go
got no
ahead. I'm
plans on
sorry.
going nowhere.
Shout outs to my brother K Toops. He said you deserve all of your flowers, and that's why I gave you that in the beginning of this interview, Queen, because I said I have to tell this girl that how much of an inspiration she's been to me as a young Black woman growing up watching her on television from, the shows, from so many of them. You, Kelly, Nia, Nia Long, to see her still out here doing her thing. Janet Jackson, Coco, Mary, all of you girls
They was mine
y'all were my
too.
dream girls. Shirley, I can't forget Miss Shirley Ralph. I cannot forget her, who's still out here. She looks amazing as well too. So
Thank you.
y'all were my girls. We're looking up every day with your pictures on the wall, going to school and saying if these girls can do this, if they can be on these television shows and have successful careers and balance it all out,
Absolutely.
I can
And
do it
it's
as well too.
unreal for me to even hear that I was on the wall with the rest of those ladies. Because those ladies were on my you know.
Yeah. Yes, Vanessa too. Vanessa, all of you. Like I would have a whole collage of all the Black women
Vanessa,
who were just like my Shira,
Sheila.
and you were one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
you were my girl. Michael C. Smith from the fashion world. Hi, my love. It was such an amazing, phenomenal conversation with you, Cherry. I know I can't keep you. We went way past an hour. You got away from the kids, like you said. So, are there any closing thoughts that you would like to leave to young Black women in this industry? Because we talked about the beauty industry. We talked about the entertainment business. We talked about a number of things. What advice would you give to young Black women who look up to you, like myself, and saying if she can do it, I can do it? And you have a daughter as well too that's walking in your
Yes.
footsteps, the blueprints. What advice would you give to young Black girls who are watching both of us? Because I see some of y'all were calling us, hey queens, calling us queens and stuff, and I appreciate that. But the real queen is here, and that's Cherry. I appreciate you guys calling me that, but I can't take
No.
away from her shine, giving her all of her flowers. But I appreciate you giving
For
both
I was
women
gonna say
their
the biggest
flowers,
thing that I
both
tell
of
my
us.
daughter, and that my uncle told me when I was a little girl, he started in this industry, is no is not always a no. Sometimes it's just a not right now. But you don't quit. Statistically, actors get one job out of 100 auditions. So I done heard no a whole lot more than I done heard yes. But one thing about me is I'm one of those people where if I try to fix something and I can't fix it right away, I never quit. And as long as you don't quit, you're going to get the results that you want. And don't let nobody else steal your joy ever. Like you, love you. It doesn't matter how anybody else feels about you.
And I love you too, girl. It was such an honor to
Thank
have you here and a dream come true. And we covered a number of things here in this interview. Viva on that, yeah, you missed a great interview, a great conversation. I wouldn't say an
thank
interview, it was more like
you. And
a
thank you for sending me
conversation.
that gift.
And
I love
you're so welcome. I had to give you your flowers, Queen. I love you too, girl. And let everyone know where they can go get some holiday Christmas gifts from. I've already tagged it down below. Shop Cherry's World. Check out the podcast. Let
Yes,
everyone know
the
where they
real
can go and
cherry,
check it out, girl.
CHERIE.com. You can get the wild cherry products. You can get my daughter's book, Cucumbers Are Delicious. You can get my children's book. You can go to keepingitallnatural.com if you want to check out some of our services as well as our products. We do give gift cards, but if you watch me on IG, I'm not just going to promote my stuff. I'm going to promote all Black everything. So there is a whole bunch of Black people, Black-owned businesses on my page throughout this month. I will continue to keep it up. We trade today. I don't know who it's going to be tomorrow, but somebody else Black-owned company is going to be up on my page. So check us out and remember, shop Black as much as you can.
All right, fashion dolls, and shout outs to everyone tuning in. 6:30 tonight is the Christmas music panel with my brothers K Tukes and Jay Evans. Make sure you guys tune in. And again, special thanks to Cherry Johnson for such an amazing conversation and interview. And I hope you all took something from this. Joining me tomorrow, we have Ryan Sent will be joining me at 3 p.m. And then joining me afterwards, we have Dante Famber. So he's going to be here tomorrow as well too. So make sure you guys tune in. Thank you all for tuning in for this incredible conversation. And I hope you all walk away feeling inspired and empowered. A special thanks to my glam, Melanie Nala, my Bridges, for making sure that this space is sitting and making sure that everything is beautiful. I love you, and I will see you guys tonight at 6:30, the music panel with my brothers K2